back to the channel. I'm Cy, and we got Dr. Ford over here. We're going to expose this week's political fools in this video. Right now, we're going to get right into it, folks. Trump and his $200 billion Boeing deal with Qatar. Now, think about that, folks. Think about that. This man, we've been telling you guys it's all about his money. This man is enriching himself and his inner circle. That is all he's doing, is making himself, his kids, and his friends' kids rich. That's what they're doing. No smoke and mirrors. This isn't just a business deal that's going on. He helped out his friends at Boeing because Boeing was struggling. And who throws them a doggy bone? Now, all of a sudden, he's going to funnel billions to Boeing? You think this is going to trickle down to us? It's not going to trickle down to us. This is one of these deals like this, folks. Let me tell you something. Whenever you live in a big city and they have a professional sports team, and they start telling you, we want to build a stadium. We want to build a stadium with tax dollars. That's what they'll tell you. And you say, why? Why you want to take our money when only a certain percentage of people going to go to the stadiums all the time? We can have this stadium for everything. We just need your tax dollars to build this stadium. It'll help the economy. Folks, when they say it's going to help the economy, the local economy, that doesn't mean it's going to help me and you. When they say it's going to help the local economy, what that means is the local rich men are going to get richer. That's what that means, folks. Don't fall for it. And this is with Trump. This has no benefit to America at all. What the hell one fucking $400 million jet has to do with us?
And I also thought about, see, of course, with Qatar, he's negotiated another deal, too, to buy Boeing aircrafts, too, along with that. But that could have come along, too, as a reward for getting that contract for Boeing to build those new aircrafts and putting those people to work. But if you look at it, too, I'm wondering, is that plane given to Trump as him personally, or is it given to the government? The President of the United States cannot take gifts. He can later buy the gifts, but he can't take gifts. And I learned that at the Ronald Reagan Museum when I worked there. So the president cannot take gifts. Every gift given becomes a gift to the American public owns it. So the president can buy it. But I would say, too, looking at Qatar, he made that big deal by those Boeing aircraft. But they will not start to work on those aircraft until 2026 to 2027. So he's still talking about way out there in terms of that. But he's made that deal in terms of put Boeing back at work. Because Boeing had really suffered a couple of years ago because Boeing airplanes were going down, were crashing, and the Chinese had negotiated a contract with Boeing to build a $1 billion contract to build a lot of Boeing aircraft. But Premier Xi, he backed out the deal. He canceled the deal. So their Boeing was not making no money. The company has terrible financial problems because some of the planes been falling out of the air. And there have been people filing charges against that it have faulty work and inadequate work, incompetent work, and so on the airplanes. The doors flying off. So they have a terrible problem there. So Trump is trying to get them out of trouble.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And like you said, the president can't take gifts. That's in the Constitution. I think it's under, let me see if I can pronounce this. The emulate clause is in the Constitution where the president can't take gifts. The good doctor was saying over there, folks. He cannot take gifts. Now, what happens, sometimes they take gifts with them, but it's only stuff like letters, personal letters that other foreign dignitaries gave them. But they can't just if I come and if I go and give the president some gold, he can't take that with him.
That's right.
He can't take that. Government officials can't profit off of their positions.
Right.
Even though we know they can't do that, but do we really think Donald Trump is going to follow the rules? He don't give a dang. He do not care. This is a blatant violation, and he knows it. And do you think it's a coincidence? Let me break it down to you, folks. You think this is a coincidence that he's making this deal with Qatar, right? And the man he made, FBI Director Kash Patel, a man who failed to disclose his consulting work in Qatar.
Wow.
This man got all kind of connections in Qatar. Now he's the FBI Director.
Oh.
You don't think that's a coincidence?
Wow.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that this is connected to this deal.
Right.
We know this. Okay, so this raises serious questions about Patel's ability to lead an agency who is supposed to be impartial. But one thing we know about Donald Trump, one thing we know about the FBI under him, they're not going to be impartial. They're not partial. We just seen them bring in a whole bunch of South Africans.
Right.
This man, his whole thing was getting rid of immigrants. His whole thing was getting rid of immigrants, and now he's bringing in South Africans. You think it's a coincidence that his daughter, who getting ready to have a baby, she is married to one of the richest men in Africa. Donald Trump's daughter is married to the richest man and one of the richest men in Africa. And he's not one of the Africans, but he owns damn near everything in Africa. And that's who Donald Trump's daughter is married to. And these are the type of deals he want to make. He's trying to build this big wealth while they want to turn America into one big ghetto and have us fighting each other. That's what they doing, folks. While the rich man sit comfortable, that's why they're bringing all these white South Africans over here. Because where was America, folks? You tell me this. Where was America when the black South Africans was being treated? Everybody know when apartheid was going on. They was being murdered and killed and raped by white people. America didn't say shit. The only damn thing America did was made a song. We are the world. That's all they did for those people. But now look at, he bringing these people over here. And I told y'all for a long time, the biggest welfare recipients in this country has always been white people, and it just grown a lot bit more. You understand what I'm saying, Dr. Deshay?
Absolutely. And what has happened is, too, Trump is his oligarch friends, all those multi-millionaires, they're making a lot of money. And Trump is only making deals for them. And the reason that tariff thing, the tariff is just one way of collecting more tax, because he's preparing to give those oligarchs a big tax break. But so he must have money coming in. And so that's the tariff, to bring all that money. The tariff, he uses the tariff as tax to bring all that tariff in, and because he's going to reduce the tax to billionaires. And so what's going to happen is poor people like us going to be really poor, and they're going to be only the rich people at the very top. That's what America is now. That's what America is headed at now. A lot of poor people, as you indicate, hungry people in the streets, no jobs in the streets. Could reach the point with the traffic in China and like Walmart's, poor people won't be able to buy anything at all. And he fired all those people. They ain't gonna have no money. So it's gonna be a poor country, only with rich oligarchs at the top. And that's where we headed. And Trump's sons, Don Jr. and the other one, Eric, Don has made deals with the people in the Middle East in terms of contracts. And his son-in-law too Kushner has made deals with the people in the Middle East. And so what else he did with Qatar, he's negotiating with them to build one of those casinos. They call it Trump Tower. That's what he's negotiating there too. So people go there and spend a lot of money. It's all about making money. That's sad.
The thing about it, folks, is this. It's always been this way, but the difference with Donald Trump is they put him there to be the face of this evil. But America's always been evil like this. How you think people got rich making deals all over the country? And this man, Donald Trump, don't care what type of deals he make, folks. Just like I told you, he talking about immigration all the time, and then he brought in these white South Africans. Africanos, whatever they want to call themselves. Okay, he making deals. The man he was sending brown immigrants back to Mexico while he's making deal with El Chapo. He made deals with El Chapo's family, El Chapo's relatives to cross into the United States border. This includes El Chapo's ex-wife, his daughter, all under this guise as a plea agreement. This is what this man is doing with his presidency. If you could put money in his pocket, he don't care. Even when he was pardoning people, drug dealers, whatever he pardoned, it was all about putting money somewhere. He is taking advantage of this position as the president, and this is what I hope happened. When he gets out of office, because he's not going to get it back in office. He's going to try to run in 2028. He try to make some kind of deal. But, man, it's going to be a lot of subpoenas when this man leaves. You think it was bad when Ronald Reagan left office? Watch what happened when Donald Trump leave the office. You understand what I'm saying, Dr.
Absolutely.
Deshay?
And I anticipated too. I also anticipate he may not last the whole term. I think Congress may, if they get together, Republicans may raise the 25th Amendment and find him disabled, because I believe he's mentally ill. But I do see as everything you said in terms of deal making and the deals he have made. He promised us he's going to make a deal with the Iranians about the nuclear bombs. He's going to make a deal with the Ukrainians with Putin. That hasn't happened. None of that has happened. So the promises he's made, nothing has happened. nothing. And Canada was sending us 50% of oil. Now, he and China made a deal with Canada. Now Canada get all that oil. They get all the oil now. So here we are. And the gas price is going to go up for poor people like us trying to drive cars to go to work.
Yeah, and this is what you Americans wanted. This is what y'all wanted because he made you feel good. Okay, he played on your hearts when he's talking all that racial stuff. That made you feel good because most of you Americans, especially the Americans on the right, you guys are insecure cowards. That's what you are. You'll hate the black man. You'll hate the brown man. They don't even have any power. But you won't say shit to the rich man. How the hell you going to vote for a rich man like Donald Trump and feel good about it? It's only one way you feel good about it is because he played to that racial bone in you. Because you got so much hate deep down. You're so insecure. Yes, you are. And I'm talking about you ones who don't have nothing. You think he gonna do something for you? I'm talking to you gray people that live in them trailer parks. You think he gonna do something for you? Huh? You see what he doing right now. This is not gonna benefit you in any way. And there's been many times the good doctor done told y'all losing y'all jobs. Y'all losing everything. Matter of fact, you ain't had nothing in the beginning. But at least they used to hide it when they was taking it from you. But now it's like dead in your face. And if you can't see it now, and this is what black people have been telling you guys forever, but they turned it into a racial thing. It was never about white and black. It was always about rich and poor. Okay, when the Black Panthers was out there talking their mess, they didn't start saying down with Whitey until the FBI infiltrated them and put undercover black men in there to start saying hate Whitey. When the Black Panthers was out there, it was all about the system. That's what they was fighting, the system. When you hear black people talking about white people, they don't really mean white people because we know most of y'all don't have any power. We talking about what the rich man do. And one thing I do like about Donald Trump being in office, we can see it now. Y'all can see it now, folks. So you understand what I'm saying, Dr.
Absolutely.
Deshay?
I think a lot of white people were very ignorant. A lot of Europeans see American white people as an ignorant group of people. And that is true. The whole situation now is about the oligarchy, about all these rich, super rich men. And that's all America going to be in the next 20 years, just a country of the super rich and a country of the people at the bottom, white and black people at the bottom, poor as dirt, poor as dirt. And that's where the country is headed now. The Chinese have surpassed us as the economic power, so we are down to number 2 now. And eventually we'll be down to number 3 because the Indians are making tremendous progress. So we're just going to be a poor country. Yeah. We're going to be like the third world country. People send stuff over here to make stuff over here because that's what poor people are, and the poverty people.
Yeah, and here's the thing about it, though, folks. When he say we're going to be first and third, but our rich people, us as a people are going to lose, but our rich people is not losing a damn thing. That's why they're making these deals. They've always been planning this to make the world a global world when it comes to economics. When it comes to economics, they want it to be world domination. So, of course, when you have people to have super rich, you got to have super poor. So this third world countries is there. Yes, America is going there, but we don't have anyone to blame but ourselves. You voted for Donald Trump. You vote for these rich people. You vote for these Ivy Leaguers. When we going to put a regular person in office? Never, unless some powerful people back him.